Hi, guys. Okay, folks are starting to fight back, but we have to do our part. And we can't do as much as, say, the lawyers that are in the game and the state AGs. But one thing that we can do is pay attention. And we've talked about this before. It is incumbent upon us to make sure that we are seeking out the information that we need as Trump, Elon Musk, and Putin destroy our country from within. I call some sources together, a lot of stuff. I'll get something, I'll read it here that maybe I saw on Facebook, and I can make some recommendations. So here's something: if your mainstream media that you're watching, even if it's MSNBC, okay, and we generally liked them in the past, but the Joe and Mika thing is problematic. CNN with Jim Acosta, what they did with him, unacceptable. So be very careful. But if they are not reporting, for example, that Trump got nothing from Canada, he got nothing from Mexico, he got nothing from Colombia, that he lied, he failed. And in fact, they played him for fools. And he negotiated, I have to do this, negotiated something that they're already doing that, with Biden, he was able to get them to put, like Mexico, 10,000, 15,000 troops on the border without fanfare, without threats, without tariffs, because Joe Biden was a real president and Donald Trump is an idiot, a monster, a traitor, a con man, and a criminal. And in fact, Donald Trump, his whole life, his dad was like this too. He cannot do business or accomplish anything unless he's drawing blood, unless he's beating somebody up, unless he's having a fight. His ego and his morals are so decrepit that he needs that feed, that negative, that evil. He can't just do a good job. So deep down, he knows he's an incompetent fool and nobody likes him. And that's why he hates this country and wants to destroy it. It's called revenge. So another thing that I always find interesting is when I get these people on Facebook, and this is a Harvard visiting professor. I forget his first name, but last name is Michelson. And I should have had that on here. But anyway, he's reminding us, he called this stuff together. And I just friended him, asked to friend him on Facebook because I saw a friend of mine, a sorority sister who's a lawyer, who posted this. And so that's how we get this going. But he wants to remind everybody, I'm going to do a rundown here. Represented by Public Citizen Litigation Group and State Democracy Defenders Fund, the Alliance for Retired Americans, the American Federation of Government Employees, and the Service Employees International Union filed suit on Monday against the Treasury Department for sharing confidential data with the so-called Department of Government Efficiency, that DOGE, run by Elon Musk. And you can go to the Public Citizen's website and learn all about the lawsuit, which he says is likely to prevail. Okay. On USAID, appearing with other Democratic lawmakers, we had Jimmy Raskin, of course, out there trying to get in. They were kept from getting in, and they're reminding Elon Musk that he did not create USAID. Congress did, for the American people. So he can't just go do this. So there's lawsuits have been filed. This guy seems to think that they're going to prevail. Hakeem Jeffries has announced lawsuits have been filed regarding the firings of inspectors generals. Remember, all the oversight, the ones that, if we are going to be putting somebody like Elon Musk in, a drug addicted, shaky immigration status, who is in violation of the Logan Act by meeting with and talking with Vladimir Putin for the past 2 years. Why isn't he in prison for that? And the guy's got government contracts. I mean, it is insane that we've gotten this sloppy. I'm sorry. I'm gobsmacked at how bad we've been. So the inspectors generals, they can't, they're the ones that can at least keep oversight watch on something, but no, they're gone. So then we have on January 21st, Democracy Forward filed on Monday and accused Elon Musk DOGE of being a shadow operation led by unelected billionaires. There you go. That flouts federal transparency rules, and it should win. Again, we're going to have these Eileen Cannon type judges out there, but not everybody. Not every Republican nominated judge is going to be dirty. Some of the Trump judges are not going to be dirty. And so we have to have some faith in that. We are not going to win all of these. We're not going to win most of them, but we do have a place to fight. Okay. We've lost a lot and we are in serious trouble, but now is the time to fight. So let's stay informed. So national security counselors filed a suit arguing that DOGE meets the requirements to be a federal uh, advisory committee and is therefore legally required to have fairly balanced representation, keep regular minutes of meetings, and allow public access to meetings. That's accurate. They can't just go, storming into these buildings, locking everybody out, not letting members of Congress in who do have a proper oversight function. You can't just have these strangers, these kids that work for Elon Musk. They're not confirmed to anything. They're not hired. They're not elected to anything. And so this won't stand. Now, granted, they're doing a lot of damage that these lawsuits can take a while. And even if these lawsuits prevail, the damage is done. And the methods that Elon Musk and Donald Trump have taken in these past couple of weeks are almost 100% proof that they're up to no good. Otherwise, why wouldn't they be open about it? Why not have Elon Musk come and testify before Congress and say, this is the type of audit we'd like to do. Here are the parameters were put in place. We're working with both sides and lots of oversight in what we're doing. But they didn't do that. They went in like criminals in the dark of night with violence, the element of surprise, like terrorists, like guerrilla warfare. So they've asked for this. Again, what I said before, Trump doesn't know how to conduct himself in life or in business unless he's breaking the law, harming someone, being evil, committing violence. That's all he knows. That's all he knows. And again, as I noted, he got played by Canada and Mexico. Not even realizing that Joe Biden had this taken care of. Only, again, Joe Biden did it like a normal human being and a good president. 18 state attorneys general and a slew of immigrants' rights groups brought swift legal action against Trump after he signed his executive order seeking to ban birthright citizenship for some children born in the U.S., arguing that it violates the 14th Amendment. Clearly, it's unconstitutional. So we got that going on. Schedule F has been challenged in court by the National Treasury Employees Union, which represents employees in 37 agencies and departments. Several immigrant rights groups in the United States, as well as the ACLU, have filed a lawsuit challenging Trump's ban on asylum claims. And GLAAD Law and National Center for Lesbian Rights have sued to stop Trump's ban on trans people in the military. And now, as I mentioned in a short before, the employees of the FBI are also suing the acting AG of Trump for what they're being like questioned and harassed and targeted if they did work on the January 6th attack on our Capitol. So there are things that are happening. That's the good news. That's the good news. Is it everything we'd like? No. Is it taking us a while? Uh-huh. To say the least. I'm trying to find the guy's name because I had it right there in front of me. And I really want to give people credit when I'm quoting them. Yeah. It's just going to be taking me a while to find it, I guess. Oh, well, I apologize for that, folks. But I think that it's encouraging, though, that we have the professionals on the case. It was somewhat upsetting to a lot of us when we had our Democratic leaders in the House and Senate seemingly just like this deer in the headlights look about them as this was happening. But again, I've also suggested that probably at the state level, I'm sure that Elon Musk and his people are in violation of many, many laws and are committing crimes. And just because these are federal agencies that are housed in the District of Columbia, which is not a state, it's housed in Washington, D.C., it's still dealing with our information that I'm sure is dealt with state agencies, especially when you're talking about the banking. So if they have our banking information and they're downloading it, again, Elon Musk and his people, his goons, his flying monkeys are not going into these computer systems just looking for waste and fraud. Okay? There's no need for them to illegally download all this data. There's no need for them to lock people out and storm the building. Okay. And the element of surprise. They're doing that because they know this is a coup. They're not doing this to help the United States of America. They're doing this to destroy the United States of America. Okay. We know this. And we better get with the program quickly. You may also have noticed that your MAGA friends on Facebook, and they tend to be real people, unlike, Elon Musk's Twitter, they've gone real quiet. They're not defending this because you know what? This isn't what Trump ran on. And many of them are being hurt as well. So they've gotten mighty silent. If you are over on Twitter, all you get are the fake bots and trolls that Elon Musk has created. Just, I mean, swarming anything you put out there. And these accounts with like 7 followers, and all of a sudden they're experts on every, and all of a sudden they're replying to my stuff, and these aren't people who follow me or accounts I've ever heard of before. So they're flooding the zone with garbage. All right, that's part of the tactic. If Elon Musk really wanted to do this right, if he says, "Look, American people, I have a gift I can offer. I know how to do this. I have a team. We can do a lot to cut waste and fraud without hurting people." Again, sit in front of a congressional hearing. Do some interviews. Be honest. Be normal, for gosh sakes. As normal as you can be when you're a drug addict like him. Okay? But he's not doing that. So his bots and trolls are saying, "Well, you just hate transparency." They want to go into USAID and be transparent. No, they're not. There's nothing transparent about what this traitor, this criminal is doing. There's no transparency. If there was, he'd get some tough questions, but you know what? You wouldn't have a terrified nation. You might even get some bipartisan support if there's proper oversight for what he's looking to do, but that's not what they did. This is no different than Trump sending his domestic terrorists to the Capitol on January 6th to storm the Capitol, try and hang Mike Pence, try and kill Nancy Pelosi. Okay? Smearing their feces on the walls and the floors of the Capitol building with their zip ties. This is no different. And if you wait for bloodshed, if our national security, the CIA, the FBI that's still normal, anybody that is not directly under the control of Donald Trump, if they don't step in, if they are waiting for bloodshed, then we're going to be in worse trouble. But I think many of us are making it clear we are not taking this lying down. And thank goodness that we've got these legal eagles on the case. But there's got to be something for the rest of us as well. So I talk a lot about the media because that's what I understand. Turn them off. And really, the way you speak is with that off button. Do not watch Joe and Mika. They're not on our side. They are not on our side. They are not on the side of informing us. They're not on the side of truth and justice, and they certainly aren't journalists. So I'm going to start there. There are some at MSNBC that are still good. There are some at CNN that are still good. But it's getting to the point where we don't know, because when the corporate bosses start issuing orders about what people can say and report on, and again, the reporters aren't the ones writing the headlines. But I still like Jim Sciutto over there, but I'm sickened about what they did to Jim Acosta. Okay? And I don't trust them. So even the good journalists, the people who are solid and know how to ferret out the truth from these government agencies where they're so tight-lipped, a lot of those people have been told they can't. And we may never know about that. So it's important that we go to several different sources to get our information. So again, having this visiting Harvard law professor who's also a journalist, and I can't remember his name. Oh, I'm so sorry about that. But even with that, I find this, it's really good stuff. I share it. I did this yesterday. It was somebody on social media. It might have been, again, on Facebook. I saw something that somebody else posted. As it turns out, it was really good information. So I posted it, and then I've been in touch with that guy, and he's been emailing me some things, some of his original work. He was one of the people, he had the information on USAID being a leader in terms of fighting apartheid, which is why Elon Musk really wants to go after USAID. So once we connect the dots, it makes it a lot easier. I'm encouraged that the MAGA have shut the F up on Facebook. The Facebook is where the real people, the people you went to high school with and that sort of thing, they're not sticking up for this stuff anymore because they can't. They know they're scared too. For one thing, they're probably embarrassed. They're thinking, oh no, all this time for years, these people that I've been slamming, calling libtards, they've been trying to warn us. They knew. And now we're being proven right. And they know it. So it's a pride thing, but some of them are scared too because they played a role in opening the door to traitors, con men, and thieves. And right now, we don't have any real recourse. But now that we're seeing these lawsuits that are being filed, I'm somewhat encouraged. So I'm going to be following those things, and we'll be talking about that again on these videos. But when I hear about this stuff that I think is good news, as I said, I will report it. But I don't do happy talk, as you probably know. I've been accused of being Debbie Downer sometimes, but I give it to you straight. Uh, no blowing smoke up the bloomers. So thanks for stopping by. I hope you'll subscribe if you're not already, and you'll get your friends to subscribe. And again, we promise to keep it real. So thanks.